All right, welcome back. So today we're jumping into something that trips up so many people on the ASVAB Arithmetic Reasoning test. It's kind of counterintuitive, honestly. It's a trap that catches people who think they're doing exactly the right thing, being fast. We're going to break down why that instinct, it might be the very thing that's killing your score. So let's just get right to it. Look at this. Fast reading causes slow scores. I know. You're probably thinking, wait, what? That sounds completely backward, right? I mean, every test prep guide, every teacher, pretty much all the advice you ever get is just screaming, go faster. You gotta beat the clock. But here's the secret, and you've gotta lean in for this one. That impulse to rush, that's the trap. And in this explainer, we're gonna show you exactly how to avoid it for good. Right, so we actually have a name for this. We call it the speed trap, and kind of jokingly, Crash Zone 7. And honestly, it's the perfect name, because this is exactly where so many test takers, even the really smart ones, see their scores just crash and burn. And they never even know why. You feel like you're doing everything right, pushing the pedal to the floor, but you're actually just driving straight into a wall. So what exactly is the speed trap? Well, it's that little voice in your head, you know the one, that says you have to just blaze through the words to have enough time to actually solve the problem. But here's the crazy part. The exact opposite is true. When you rush, your accuracy just plummets. You miss one tiny little detail, you end up doing the wrong calculation, and then you're forced to waste even more time going all the way back to reread everything from the start. It's this vicious cycle, and all it does is cost you points and, frankly, your confidence. Okay, so why is this trap so dang effective? Why do so many of us fall for it? Well, it's because it preys on these very specific, very, well, human errors we all make when we're under pressure. And you know what they say? Understanding your enemy is the first step to defeating them. Now, let's break these down, because this is where it gets really interesting. First up, you've got skimming. This is when your eyes are just darting across the page, jumping from number to number, and you totally miss the story of the problem. Next, ignoring constraints. You might see 40 miles per hour, but you completely miss the part that says, for the last hour of the trip. See how that changes everything? And then, the big one, missing keywords. A tiny little word like not, or except, or total can completely flip the entire question on its head. I mean, have you ever done a problem, gotten an answer, saw it was one of the choices, and you were still wrong? Yeah, this is probably why. All right, so that's the problem. And yeah, it's a big one. But the solution? It's surprisingly simple and incredibly powerful. We're now shifting gears into the core strategy that the top scorers use. We call it the two-read insight. And trust me, this is your secret weapon for beating the clock, by actually slowing down. And this brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? With that timer just ticking down, building all that pressure, how on earth can you justify slowing down? How can taking more time to read possibly lead to a faster, better score? It just feels wrong. And here's the answer. Simple as that. 2 reads save time. This needs to be your new mantra. Seriously, it's not just some catchy little phrase. It is a fundamental shift in your strategy. Instead of that one chaotic, frantic read-through where you're trying to understand the story, find the numbers, and solve the problem all at once, you just break it down. You do 2 focused, deliberate passes. Okay, so let's get practical. It's one thing to talk about the theory, right? But it's a totally different ballgame to actually do it when you're under pressure. So we're going to break down this 2-pass reading method into simple, actionable steps you can start using, like today. So here's how it works. Step 1, your first read. On this pass, you literally ignore the numbers. I'm serious. Just read to get the context, the story. Are we talking about distance in time? Is it a percentage problem? What are they actually asking for at the very end? This is your comprehension pass. Then, and only then, do you move on to step 2, the second read. Now you become a data detective. You go back in and you're hunting for the specific numbers, those sneaky keywords, and how everything connects so you can set up your equation. This is your calculation pass. This chart really just nails the difference, right? It shows the 2 different mindsets you need for each pass. Your brain is doing 2 totally separate jobs. The first read is all about comprehension. What's the story here? The second read is all about calculation setup. What are the raw materials I need? By splitting up these tasks, you stop your brain from getting overloaded. You'll catch those tricky keywords, and you'll make sure you're actually solving the problem they asked for. It's all about being methodical, not man. And, this really brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. What we're talking about here isn't just a new technique, it's a whole new philosophy for taking this test. You have to completely let go of the idea that speed is the number one goal. It's not. The real goal, the thing that actually puts points on the board, is accuracy. So if you remember just one thing from our time together today, let it be this: accuracy beats speed. Every single time. Look, one correctly solved problem that you did deliberately and carefully is infinitely more valuable and ultimately faster than rushing through 3 problems and getting them all wrong. Let that sink in. Make that your new guiding principle. And that's a wrap. But before you go, I want to leave you with a final thought. Really, a call to action. Take a look at this question. Where are you going to apply the 2-read method first? Is it going to be on your next practice test? Maybe on that one specific type of question that always seems to get you? Don't just let this be some interesting idea you heard. Decide right now where you're going to put it into practice and start building the habit that's going to completely transform your score.